7 things we are at the Sacred Commons. We are a community of justice. Justice is what love looks like in public. We often feel as if Jesus has been hijacked. So to quote Brian McLaren, he said, "Too often Christianity has come across as anti-poor, anti-environment, anti-gay, anti-intellectual, anti-science, anti-immigrant, not to mention pro-torture, pro-death penalty." This is not the Jesus we meet in the Gospels. This is not the Jesus who won our hearts. At the Sacred Commons, we are for the poor. We are for the disenfranchised, those on the underside of power, the marginalized, the outcasts, those who Jesus called the least of these. We value peacemaking, caring for the environment, and loving all of our neighbors: homeless, Muslim, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, immigrant, gay, Christian, Jewish, atheist, addicted, skeptics. All of our neighbors. Our heart is to love all of our neighbors unconditionally, without pretext, and not just with sentimental thoughts, but with action in thought, word, and deed. Number 2, we are a community of relational intentionality, or a micro-church. In the era of mega, where industrialization has affected everything from the superstore to the big box church, we are a part of a renewal movement to the return of intimacy and intentionality. In our culture, we're seeing this. It's a return to the local, a return to the artisanal, a yearning for life that takes place on a smaller scale. Our hope is to emphasize quality over quantity, names in the heart, not butts in the seat. We like the idea of handmade, homegrown spirituality and curated practices that allow us to know ourselves and to know other people in ways that make us more human. Number 3, we are a community of contemplation. Unlike the reductionism that has really kind of taken over certain parts of the church, that seeks to oversimplify faith into formulas and propositions and head knowledge to be learned and then shelved, Christian contemplation invites the believer to seek and hunger, to deeply cherish, imagine, and become open to the mysteries of God. We invite all into this life of contemplation through prayer, both using our own spontaneous prayers and the well-formed prayers written by saints and sinners, both past and present. There's a good quote about this from William A. Barry. He said, "Contemplation leads to an attitude of reverence. You do not control what you contemplate, but you stand in awe of it." That's worship. Number 4, we are ecumenical. Ecumenism has one major aim, and that is the unity of all Christians. We believe the future of the church is headed towards loving across and sharing across denominational lines, and we find sectarianism within the church to be scandalous. The us versus them isolationism that can be found within denominations are a major impediment to the witness of the church, especially in an already post-Christian world. And we believe that what really matters is what all followers of Jesus have in common. Convergent churches strive to appreciate and learn from the unique and beautiful distinctions found within various bodies of the faith. And our hope is to live out the prayer of Jesus found in John 17, for all believers, for the church to become one. Number 5, we are liturgical. Liturgy comes from the Greek word which means public worship, the work of the people. In a way, every church has a liturgy, but at the Sacred Commons, we aim at creatively submitting to the historical liturgy of the church in fresh and innovative ways that engage all of the people in the service. So it's not a spectator sport. The us of liturgy and the gifts of the liturgical calendar, we believe, help keep our community centered upon the story and the teachings of Jesus. And we believe that this helps safeguard the church against the phenomena of celebrity pastors, cults of personality, and so on. Most of all, it's a unifying gift that connects us with other Christians all throughout the world and throughout time. Number 6, we are creedal. Churches often feel the need to defend themselves dogmatically and to itemize their beliefs in what's called statements of faith. But rather than narrowing down a doctrinal list to the exclusion of others, we find a faithful unity in the historic creeds of the church. The creeds are well thought out summaries of the faith once delivered by Jesus through the apostles to the fathers and mothers of the church who did not compose their own stuff, they simply remembered. We encourage everybody to learn and study the creeds of the church so that the next time you bump into a church curmudgeon who wants to test you by asking you, "What do you believe?" you can easily reply with the creed. "I believe in God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth," so on and so forth. It's great. Lastly, and this is the most important one to us, we are Eucharistic. The word Eucharist is a Greek word meaning thanksgiving. The Eucharist, also known as Holy Communion and the Table of the Lord and the Lord's Supper, has been a central and universal practice within the church given to us by Jesus himself. So every week we come to the table. We're centered around the table and not a personality, the table of the Lord. And we believe that the Lord's Supper is a unifying and sacred practice that connects us to Jesus and each other. It's the heartbeat of our gathering. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is JP Robles. I am a pastor here at the Sacred Commons, a new kind of church community, a convergent church in Youngstown, Ohio. If you want to find out more about us, maybe just check us out online, thesacredcommons.com. And then when the time's right, come and worship with us Saturdays at 4 p.m. right here at the beautiful St. John's Episcopal Church. We meet in the chapel, 323 Wick Avenue. We'd love to see you here. Peace.